I think silver is going to go to 100 to 500 by 2025. And today, because of the Fed and all this stuff, what Charlie Munger, who's Buffett's partner, is talking about is hyperinflation. And I think that's why the why is why you'd better start buying some gold and silver or uranium or copper, getting into things that what Jim Rickards call things that last. So with that, and one more thing is that Kim and I own no equities. We're about 95% private. So we don't own ETFs and all that stuff. We own the gold mine. So Kim and I secured a gold mine in China, the biggest gold mine in China. So there's more to gold and silver than just what the moving average is and all that stuff, And the last thing is, then we found a gold mine in Argentina, and then Kim and I sold it to Yamana. So we don't have public shares. We have private. And I still eat Chinese food, but I'm not happy with the Chinese. So with that said, I hope I've teased your mind as to why the heck Kim and I are fanatical. Gold, silver, and today a little bit of Bitcoin. Simply because I don't trust the Fed, I don't trust the Treasury, and I don't trust the government. And to find out why, you might be in trouble financially if you don't own precious metals. As I said, Rick, I told you, I don't own paper. I have nothing that's a derivative. I know I'm 90% in hard assets, gold, silver, real estate, things I control. And when I have gold, we bought the gold mine. So we owned the whole damn thing. And then we sold one. But then when I talk to other guys who are more paper asset guys, like financial planners and all that, and final words I'll pass on from Jim Rickards. I've been buying silver since 1964. It was 10 cents for a dime, 25 cents for a quarter, $0.50 for a $0.50. And then I started buying my first gold in 1972. I've never spent any of it. But this is what Jim Rickards says. He says, everybody wants to wait until the price moves. And he says, when it moves this time, you might not be able to get any. He's serious about it. And since that we're in the mining and gold and silver industry, we know the supplies are short. And there's so much money sitting out there ready to move. Gold's around 1,900, estimated to go around 2,800. So I'll wait till it goes to 2,800. You got to be nuts. So, what Jim Rickards always says is, well, give me a call when it starts to move. By the time it moves, you'll be sound asleep. So this is a very precarious time. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner in his 90s, said this is very dangerous because inflation is coming.
Here.
The terrible was going to accelerate. This is Weimar Republic, the German, what brought Hitler to power in 1933. But this is a very dangerous time. I wouldn't be saving, I wouldn't be holding dollars for the long term. I'd be holding silver, especially because silver you can spend. It's liquid, the same as gold, same as Bitcoin if you guys are into it, but it's a little expensive today. But anyway, this is not a time to be thinking about it. The number one investment that everybody in the world can afford is silver. And the reason I say it is the number one. Let's say I can buy today even a silver eagle or a silver buffalo or silver bar. I'm paying about 20 to 25 bucks. Now, everybody in the world can afford 20 to 25 bucks, but very few people know about it. I became a silver bug in 1964. And I was 17 years old in 1964. I was holding up a dime, and the dime had copper on it. I'm like, shit's going on here? I didn't know this at the time because I'm only 17 years old. I'm a surfer kid. I'm looking at this dime going, and then I saw the quarter had copper around it. And then back then we had $50, and I saw this copper around it. I'm going, something's on here. It took me years to find out later on that I was looking at Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law states when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding. Bad money is pumping into this system, and all these idiots are saving dollars. You gotta be kidding me. And they're printing so much money. And the beauty of silver, let me say it again, everybody in the world can afford 20 bucks. You can go to a point. Silver has not only been an industrial metal, but it's also a monetary metal. It's been used as, payments for years and years and years. So I was 17 years old going to that. And it took me to 1972 when, after Nixon took the dollar off the gold standards, and gold and silver are God's money. It wasn't printed by the Federal Reserve Bank or the Bank of England or the Bank of Tokyo. Gold and silver were put here by God. I'm not really religious. And I think it's the biggest bargain. Again, this is October 2022. It's still about 20 bucks. I was buying silver at 50 bucks. Everything else has gone up. Even gold's gone up. But silver stays depressed. And there's one more big thing about silver. It's consumed. Gold is not consumed. It's stored. They stack gold. They burn silver. There's micro and macro economics, all this. So macro, silver is being depleted. It's used for the Green New Deal. Question is, can you get any of it? Because I called my gold and silver guy. I've been dealing with him for 25 years. He says, I can't get silver. That silver is the best investment. As the world economy collapses and you don't buy silver around $20 an ounce, you're the biggest loser of all. Bad news, the world economy is collapsing. The good news is the best investment is cheaper than ever before. And the good news is everybody in the world can afford to buy some silver. And as I said in Rich Dad Poor Dad, came out 25 years ago, savers are losers. And these idiots are still saving money. And the Fed is printing it like crazy. The English pound almost went down. The Japanese yen is about to take a dive. China is in serious trouble because they have the biggest real estate bubble in the world. And the Fed has been printing trillions of dollars, and people are still saving money. You've got to be creative. October 22, the biggest investment bargain in the world is silver. You can buy a silver for about 20 bucks US. Everybody in the world can afford 20 bucks, but they'd rather save the dollar. I mean, it is ridiculous. Well, there's another reason. Like, when I own silver mines. I started a gold mine. I mean, a silver mine in Argentina and a gold mine in China. And I own the richest gold mine in the world, Utah. Wow. So I'm a gold and silver fanatic. I am nuts on this whole thing. The biggest advantage is, like, when I buy silver coins, that stuff will last. If I bought, let's say, a box of 500 silver eagles, I can give them as Christmas presents every year, or birthday presents and all that. And guess what? If your kid or relative hangs on to that, it'll last as long as they live. It'll always be valuable. You give them $5, it's toast. Of what you can do today, silver is the biggest bargain in the world. And every loser on planet Earth can afford 20 bucks. But they wouldn't know even where to find it. I was 17 years old in 1964, and I realized silver was it. And it's Gresham's Law. Gresham's Law is when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding, and the Federal Reserve Bank cannot print much more. I don't know if they can print much more. They're going to try to. Everybody who's saving dollars is going to be the biggest loser of all. I'll say it again. Everybody in the world can afford a $20 silver coin. Why is the price of silver suppressed? I used to pick up $1, US dollar, paper dollar. It had a silver certificate on it. You could redeem it for silver. Today it says Federal Reserve note. You're getting screwed. The Federal Reserve is screwing you, but you're still trying to save that Federal Reserve note. But they already told you, and they broadcast it, there's no longer a silver certificate. I don't have gold and silver ETFs because I don't trust anything that's baby. I just don't trust it. Yeah, my saying is if they print it, I don't want it. It's really quite simple. Is it possible that the SLV, which is the gold, the silver ETF, and GLD, which is the gold ETF, there are more ETFs, there's more paper gold and silver than real gold and silver? I think silver is going to go to 100 to 500 by 2025. That's my guess. And it's wishful thinking and all this, but I also do it the same reason why they pump silver and all that, they dump silver and all this stuff, is to get, it's called forward guidance, so people get excited or they dump it. The Romans used to clip the silver off of coins to pay the Roman soldiers. I mean, they were screwing, their own soldiers. But that's what the Fed and the Treasuries are doing, that Wall Street's doing right now. I was buying silver 20 years ago, 30 years ago at $50 an ounce. Think about that. It is still half off. Demand's going to keep going up, and everybody can afford $20. So pull your head out of you know what. I can't get silver from some of my dealers. That's how bad it is. I can't get gold either because people know the US dollar is trash. So it's all fiat. Fiat stands for government. I call it fake money. People are waking up to the idea that money is fake. The US dollar is fake. And that started in 1971 when the Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. But as I said, this transition started in 1964 when I was 17 years old and I saw the silver coin was copper. Somebody's screwing me. This market's going to be volatile as hell. And I'll say it again, back in the 80s, I forgot when, I was buying silver at 50. And I thought I was Donald Trump, you know, the damn thing crashed. So I bought more. And today I have tons of the stuff. I own silver mine, I own gold mines. I own tons. Of course, they're in storage vaults all over the world because I don't trust, I don't trust the U.S. government, period. Anything the government can print, I don't want. It's that simple. And the biggest thing about gold and silver is world money. It's global money. I can carry it anywhere in the world, and there's a market for it. It's liquid. I can get in and out of it in a day. The trouble with real estate, and I love real estate, as you know, real estate is available for a different reason. It's debt and taxes. I buy a lot of real estate on debt, and I pay no taxes. But I save my money. I don't save dollars. I save gold and silver. Now, if I need the money, I can go to American Precious Metals. I'll be liquid that day, cash for it. So that's for liquidity, where real estate is not liquid. And so those are some of the fine differences. The demand for silver with the Green New Deal and all this stuff is only going to go up, and they can't produce it fast enough. As the world economy, the English pound collapsed, the Japanese yen is going to collapse, the Chinese yuan is in trouble. Almost probably going to go to a crypto gold-backed yuan. But all the Americans who are saving dollars are living in la la land. Don't buy paper, gold, and silver ETFs. Right. Because there might not be any gold or silver there. It's one of the biggest con jobs there is.